Chapter 3. The Betrayal of a Friend. The intelligence branch of the Navy SEALs has an agent who has successfully infiltrated the Black Vipers organization. Unfortunately, it was discovered and needs to be rescued. The superior of the Navy SEALs, Paul Moore, had told Max earlier that he would reveal the name of the secret agent in the Black Vipers organization. The name was Ralph Jones, an old friend of Max, who had already saved Max on a mission, and Max would do anything to bring his friend back to his family. So Max and his team are sent to the enemy base to rescue his old friend before it's too late. However, Ralph's plea for help turns out to be a trap, as he now works with Soot and plans to ambush Max's team. Max arrives at the base wearing a special uniform to avoid detection by Soot's senses. But they are caught off guard by an unexpected enemy attack and struggle to stay alive. Soon they are captured and taken to prison, where Max wonders if his uniform had any flaws that would give away his position. Notorious soldier Big J interrogates Max and his team when Max realizes that his friend Ralph Jones has betrayed his country. While Soot, Ralph, and Dr. Strongbrain discuss the valuable information they gain from Ralph, Max is devastated when he realizes that his former friend has joined the enemy's side and turned to the dark side of the Force. Ralph Jones pays a visit to Max in prison, but Max immediately confronts him about his betrayal. Ralph Jones reveals that his wife is gravely ill and pregnant, and Dr. Strongbrain promised to heal her in exchange for Ralph Jones' cooperation. Max feels devastated by this betrayal, and Ralph Jones leaves with his new allies. Despite being able to escape easily, Max chooses to stay in prison to avoid putting his team in danger. However, Soot is aware of Max's abilities and orders Big J to transfer Max to a cell made of armored glass. Max is subjected to brutal torture by Big J, who hasn't forgotten Max throwing him out of a window. Max remains strong and refuses to reveal any information about the Navy SEALs. Eventually, Big J leaves Max alone in his cell, but Max knows he can't withstand the torture for long and that Soot intends to kill them all. Max decides to use his metal powers to destroy the armored glass, which is proof against bullets, but not against Max's strength. Max escapes his cell and sets out to save his friends, fighting anyone who stands in his way with his anger and disappointment over Ralph Jones' betrayal. Max arrives at the cell where his comrades are being held and surveys the physical and psychological damage they have suffered. His soldiers are perplexed by Max's metallic form, but he insists there's no time to explain and asks them to trust him as always. With Max in his metal form, he manages to block the enemy's shots and the fight between the Navy SEALs and Speedstorm soldiers begins. Soot realizes that Max has escaped and goes to meet him. Max tells him that the word smoke turns into smoke and they face each other on equal terms. The fight between Max and Soot is intense but balanced. Meanwhile, the Navy SEALs manage to defeat Speedstorm and retrieve their weapons, including Max's wind shot. A Navy SEAL soldier uses the wind shot to shoot Soot several times, forcing him to flee. Big J, seeing the battle is lost, takes Dr. Strongbrain with him and they escape. Max returns to his human form and finds Ralph Jones lying down. Ralph reveals that he was wounded by Dr. Strongbrain during the battle, and Max realizes that his friend was just a pawn for the Black Vipers. Dr. Strongbrain, in addition to not helping Ralph Jones' wife, leaves him in agony. Ralph Jones, now a traitor, leaves Max with a feeling of sadness. As he cries, Ralph tells Max to take care of his wife and unborn daughter, then he falls silent, forever. Max mourns the loss of his friend and heads back to base with his team. Despite the victory, Max can't get rid of the feeling of betrayal. He vows to always be vigilant and never let his guard down again. Max and his team bring Ralph Jones back to his family. Although they couldn't bring him back alive, they wanted to ensure he received a respectful burial. After completing the mission, Max and his team are called to a meeting with their superiors. The team is praised for their bravery and warned of the possibility of having more undercover agents on their team. They are also warned to be on the lookout for any signs of cheating in the future. Max and his team decide to attend Ralph Jones' funeral and pay their respects to their deceased friend. They share fond memories of Ralph Jones and reminisce about the happy times they had together before the betrayal. Despite his betrayal, Ralph Jones acted out of love and a desire to protect his family. Max, accompanied by his wife Megan Smith, daughter Mia Smith and mother Sarah Smith, visits the late Ralph Jones' home to talk to his widow, Alexia Jones, about a new treatment for his illness. Sarah Smith will help with the treatment, and Alexia Jones is overjoyed and sent to the best hospital to start her treatment. At night in his dark room, Max reflects on his friend's betrayal and feels a deep sadness. Ralph Jones sacrificed his life in hopes of healing his sick wife and future daughter. Max realizes he needs to learn from the situation and pay more attention to his family. Mia Smith misses him dearly, and despite Megan Smith's mental strength, she is greatly affected by the danger Max faces on his missions. The balance Max had between work and family is no longer possible. Max vows to do better, knowing he won't always return from his dangerous missions. He wants to do enough for those he loves before he dies.